It's trade mailbag time here on Vikings Now. Mitchell Renz from Chat Sports. Let me just be honest with y'all. I love doing these type of shows because it allows me to come up here, see what you guys are thinking, and then also it gives you a little bit of airtime. Before we go ahead and break down some of the trades that y'all went ahead and gave us, we are trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. I know, I ask you guys to hit that subscribe button a lot, but believe it or not, this is how I pay my bills. This is how Jack pays his bills. It's how the Chat Sports team pays the bills. So please, keep the lights on for free videos. Hit that subscribe button. The first trade coming in here is from Anthony Edwards. Anthony, we appreciate you. Thank you for submitting this one. The Vikings receive Kyler Murray. The Cardinals receive Kellen Mond. And then 3 first-round picks. Well, let me just say this. First off, 3 first-round picks, 2023, 2024, 2025. Is that the route that you're going to go? Interesting. My biggest question is, what are you going to do with Kirk Cousins? Because I don't really understand a realm for Arizona to make a trade where they're giving up Kyler Murray, and in return, they're not going to get back Kirk Cousins. I know there's a lot of hype around Kellen Mond, but personally, Mond is not a very interesting trade target for a lot of NFL teams out there, especially in a Cliff Kingsbury style of offense that wants to be air raid. They want to chuck the ball down the field, and Mond, I'm sorry, is not a passing quarterback in the NFL. On top of going out and making this move that you suggested, you're already paying Kirk Cousins $35 million this year. If you're going to make a deal for Murray, you have to be ready to pay him. And when I say pay, this dude wants top 5 quarterback money. I don't think he's going to get Rodgers, Watson, Mahomes type of dollar bills, but he's definitely going to be looking for Josh Allen, Derek Carr. I actually made a video on Chat Sports illustrating what I think Murray ends up getting. It's going to be about $42 million per year. That's my projected number. So you're telling me you're going to invest about $82 million at the quarterback position and the QB position alone? No, sorry, it was creative, but I'm simply going to say no. So make the call here. Would you trade for Kyler Murray, type T for trade, type P for pass, if Kirk Cousins was in that deal as well, and you could get Murray on a little bit of a value? I would rather have Kyler every single day of the week over Kirk. The issue is, I don't really think it ends up happening, but hey, you guys, let me know. T for trade, P for pass. Let's go to the next trade here on Vikings Now, and this one's from Rob E., and it's the Vikings receive a 2023 fifth-round pick, and then a team that has yet to be announced gets Alexander Mattison. So essentially, what I'm wrapping my mind around here is you want to put Mattison on the trade block, and you are willing to deal him to anybody as long as you get a fifth-round pick in 2023. I guess, are we really out on Mattison? Like, I love Dalvin Cook. He is fun, arguably the best running back in the entire NFL, but I could sit up here and confidently say that, to me, Mattison is maybe one of the best RB2s in the entire league. It's a great 1-2 duo. I do understand that there is a legitimate chance that Mattison struggles in the new Kevin O'Connell system because they're going to implement running backs that can catch the football a little bit. And on a previous show this week, I talked about Ty Chandler, how he's impressing and how he's a player that I have my eyes on. But let me just be very, very clear here. I'm not giving up Alexander Mattison for a fifth-round pick in next year's draft. 42 career games, 330 carries, 1,387 yards, 4.2 yards per carry, 6 touchdowns. And when you look at Mattison, I get it. He is an RB2, but is everybody who's watching the show right now totally confident that Dalvin Cook's not going to get banged up? We know that Cook has had injury issues in the past, and one of the reasons why Mattison has been so good when he's been able to ask to come in is because Cook has battled some of those injuries. So if you couldn't give me a team, how about this? Here are some teams that I could say are possibly in the running back market as it stands right now. Arizona, they only have James Conner. They lost, what's his name, to the Miami Dolphins, doesn't it? Chase Evans, he went to the Dolphins. The New Orleans Saints, their whole situation going on right now with Alvin Kamara. What if he's actually suspended? The Philadelphia Eagles, for whatever reason, they haven't committed to Miles Sanders, but that's a team that likes to pound the football with Jalen Hurts. They make a lot of sense. Najee Harris could be another dude looking for a backup. The Titans, a backup behind Derrick Henry. I'm also going to throw in one more team here. There's been a lot of rumors around Josh Jacobs at minicamp, and Kennedy Palomalu, who was the running back coach last season for Minnesota, is now with the Raiders. So maybe, just maybe, that could be a team that goes out and tries to make a deal. The next trade coming up here in this trade mailbag, and shout out to everyone who got him in. Tony Belcher, did I get that right? Tony Belcher. I almost said Tony Bleacher. I'm so used to Bleacher Report. So his idea is the Vikings receive Kadarius Toney, the Giants receive another Alexander Mattison trade, and then a third-round pick in 2023. This one's creative. This one's interesting, and personally, I think both sides to this deal end up saying no. For the Vikings reason off the top is I'm not going to trade Mattison. I don't see the point of it, and I'm not also going to give up an extra pick. For the New York Giants side of it, Toney was a first-round pick in last year's draft. Has he had some off-the-field issues? Yes, no doubt about it. Has he been a headache for the Giants? Yes, probably. 39 catches, 420 yards. To me, though, this is a player who doesn't quite have Tyreek Hill upside, but has upside in terms of being a quick, twitchy athlete and somebody who I know Brian Dable wants to use in their offense. Somebody that, let's say, Daniel Jones is going to have to use in his offense. So my question is, do you need Toney? And do you need Toney? Maybe, maybe not, but do you need Mattison? Yes, I do think that you do. Would Toney be a good fit with this Vikings offense? Absolutely. And would he be a good fit in almost any offense? Yes, he would. But when I look at the overall strengths and weaknesses of the Vikings, I think that the wide receiver position is one of their strongest points. You got Justin Jefferson, you got Adam Thielen. So what, you're going to put Toney as your wide receiver 3? What happens to KJ Osborne? What happens to BC Johnson? Toney is a good player, but I would rather have Mattison as my backup running back than Kadarius Toney as a potential 3 or 4 wide receiver. So you guys are the boss here. I don't know what Alexander did over the past 24 hours or 48 hours. You ought to hate on him so much. Maybe you just love Dalvin Cook a lot. It's fine. Would you trade Alexander Mattison? Y for yes and for no. And if you don't like the trades that you see on today's show, let me know and Jack know down in the comments your trade ideas. Let's go to Bob Bradley. You're next up here on the show. This one's juicy. The Vikings receive DK Metcalf, and the Seattle Seahawks receive a first and a third-round pick. So if you're wondering, is that a lot? Is it not a lot in terms of value? It's the exact same compensation that the Eagles had to give up to get A.J. Brown, so a first and a third-round pick. On a earlier show that I did on Chat Sports, I broke down a potential DK Metcalf extension because just like I said about Murray, if you make a deal for DK, you have to pay him on top of all of that as well. And when you look at some of the highest paid wide receivers in the NFL, he's not going to make more than Hopkins, Adams, or Tyreek, but he's going to be in the A.J. Brown, Stephon Diggs category. Personally, I had it projected at 4 years, $104 million, $26 million per year. And for a player coming off his first 3 very successful seasons, the only reason why I might pump the brakes and I might tell NFL teams out there to, you know what, maybe you don't want to go ahead and make this deal is because what is DK going to look like after Drew Lock, after Geno Smith? Call me crazy. He's not going to put up nearly the type of production with those two guys slinging the football as he did Russell Wilson. So if he hits the free agent market next offseason, personally, I think you're going to get him at a little bit of a discount. And when we talk about DK, when we talked about Kadarius Toney, there's one football. There is only one football. And I'm going to give targets to Justin Jefferson. I'm going to give targets to Adam Thielen. Not that I wouldn't like DK on the team, of course. You'd be stupid not to like DK Metcalf. But as much as I talk about Jefferson, Thielen, DK, this is probably still going to be a run-first team with Dalvin Cook and Alexander Mattison. So unless they start putting 2 footballs out there on the field, I love the creativity. I just don't think it's going to happen, y'all. So if you want more free Vikings videos, take a second, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. And what I've been telling people here is because Chat Sports is a company, we just surpassed 1 million subscribers between all our YouTube channels. Why? We're dedicated. So when I tell you guys more subs equals more videos, I mean it. If there's breaking news, we cover it. We're an interactive channel. How many other YouTube channels out there are asking for trade mailbags? The more subs we get, the more videos we can crank out for y'all. So please hit that subscribe button. I know we're dedicated. Are you? Let's go to the next one. John Wick. N'Keal Harry. Patriots receive a 7th-round pick. Now, we've talked a lot about wide receivers early on. This, to me, though, is a trade that I would look into. I will say one of my comps for N'Keal Harry was Laquan Treadwell, which might hurt you guys a little bit. But for a 7th-round pick for somebody who was drafted in round 1 just in 2019, maybe you roll the dice on it. He's cheap, but it's because he's not that good of a receiver, and he hasn't been a good receiver with New England. If, let's just say, there have been a lot of injuries around Minnesota, you bring in N'Keal Harry. You have him for a 7th-round pick. He flashes a few things here and there. Could you flip him later on? I don't know. Maybe it's a potential. But in his 31 career games, 598 yards, 4 touchdowns, 57 grabs. The next trade coming in here is from Gamer Slayer. The Vikings get a 6th-round pick. The Raiders get Wyatt Davis. So Wyatt Davis in college was one of the best guards that I've ever seen. But when I go back and I look at the tape of Wyatt Davis, and then I see a player like Davis in the NFL, sometimes players lose their swagger. And I also think that the Raiders end up saying no. Why? Not that the Raiders have extremely deep depth at offensive line, but the Raiders' new offensive line coach, Carmen Brasillo, is very high on the players that he has and believes that he can end up building them. So Denzel Good coming off an ACL injury. But right now, John Simpson, he's getting starting left guard reps. You drafted Dylan Parham round 3, number 90 overall. And then for everyone else, it's kind of a crapshoot. So even though I do think that this is a creative idea, I also don't know how much it helps out Minnesota. Wyatt hasn't been all that great. Yes, there's been some other players stepping up, but do I want to give up on Davis for a 6th-round pick? I don't know about that either. So what do you think here, y'all? Who wins the deal? Type MIN for the Minnesota Vikings, or if you think the Las Vegas Raiders win this deal, please go ahead and type LV.